So before we go anywhere else with this, I just want to make this clear that I did not write a script for this video. This is literally I just saw this and I decided to hit the record button. So this is going to be an impromptu game break video on what the hell Nintendo just did, because frankly, if you want to find a way to kill a grassroots esports program, this is a way to do it. Nintendo has just threw out the masterclass. This is how you do it with what they just announced. And to say that I'm surprised, not really. Not really at all, because Nintendo has done this before, and it basically shows that they do not give a flying you-know-what about it. And honestly, I'm not surprised. But we still got to talk about this, so let's just get right into it here. My name is Jimmy Cat, and it's time for an impromptu game break. So what the hell am I talking about? What am I going about here? What am I saying? I am basically saying this. Let's just get right into it here. I saw this from .esports. Nintendo imposes several tournament limitations, and the community responds with uproar. Now, you're probably wondering, oh God, what did they do now? Basically, now keep this in mind that these don't affect the American side at the moment. As of just taking a look at this, it only affects the Japanese and the European scenes. But essentially, just taking a look at it is going to affect the Americas at some point. I would be surprised. These new guidelines for tournaments will essentially force any major event to get a license from Nintendo before operating, or face outrageous limitations that are being implemented. And what are these limitations? Simply put, well, tournaments can no longer feature most sponsors, use any content or accessories not licensed by Nintendo, or involve anything that Nintendo deems appropriate. There are strict limitations on monetary gains under these new guidelines, capping registration fees around $25 and total pricings for certain events at $5,000. However, keep this in mind. In Japan, they are not doing any cash prizes. So basically, if you're competing in a tournament in Japan, congratulations, you might just win a nice little trophy, if that. But you're not going to be winning any prize money or anything like that. And again, keep this in mind that this is only for Japan and Europe at this current moment. Nothing has been said for the Americas as of right now. There is also mentioned that tournament organizers need to get separate permission to use IP from third-party companies featured in Nintendo's games. And here's the thing, this is the one that really is going to screw tournament organizers over, because when you have characters from Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Minecraft, and other games that are not directly associated with Nintendo, that's a problem. So you basically gotta go out, get separate IP for those characters and those, maps and everything, or you just ban those altogether, because why even bother? Player numbers for offline tournaments will be limited to a max of 200 players. Online events can feature 300. Any event that wants to operate outside these listed guidelines, including scholastic or charity tournaments, will need to make a separate application to Nintendo to obtain permission. Are you fucking kidding me? So if I want to host a charity tournament, just because F it, I could, I have to go out and ask Nintendo, hey, can I get a license to host this event? Whether it's in person or online. Come on, man, that's just absolutely stupid. And here's the thing. I took a look at the community guidelines. Like, they had a Q&A side of things here. So, can school, clubs, or neighborhood associations host community tournaments under these guidelines? The answer for it: school, clubs, or organizations. However, they may conduct competitions without requiring a license, as long as the following conditions are met and they adhere to the stipulation of these guidelines. Participation in the tournament will not be open to the public. Participants will be limited to the members of the school club. Okay, that's a bit of a problem here, because I'm gonna tell you this right now. Not everyone who competes in scholastic video game tournaments are a part of the club. A lot of times they host these events for charity reasons, or just to have a good time. Honestly, hey, let's have a Smash tournament. on a Thursday after school because we can. We might be raising money for charity, stuff like that. They're not going to be. You're not going to have people sign up to be members of a club. You're basically just killing these tournaments here. And the big one, again, just mentioned it. How can I host game tournament using Nintendo games as part of a charity activity at a high school? For students to host a game tournament using Nintendo games as part of school charity activities, the school to which the student belongs to must make a separate application to obtain permission to conduct the game tournaments. You're telling students that's not gonna happen, because a lot of the times the schools are not gonna be able to do that. And I think that's basically just doing bad business here. It really is. Under what circumstances would Nintendo request a cancellation of a community tournament? This is one that might be interesting. Let's see what the answer to this is. Nintendo may request a cancellation of any community tournaments in its sole discretion, including any tournaments that violate or may violate these guidelines, or that Nintendo deems inappropriate. In addition, Nintendo may request a cancellation of a community tournament on behalf of a right holder or intellectual property rights holder. Then Nintendo, upon receiving a request from such a right holder. So essentially, you're telling people, hey, you want to host a tournament. Congratulations. Here's what you have to do. And you have it's basically like Wipeout. It's like that first run in Wipeout where you had to jump on the big bouncy balls and everything and make sure you don't get hit from the side traps and everything. That's basically what Nintendo is saying here. And if you get to the end, nope, guess what? You still have another round. That's basically what they're saying here. And this is the one this just angers me. I'm planning to organize a game tournament, and I made an announcement about it before these guidelines were released. However, question 14 of the guidelines state that I would need to make a separate application and obtain permission to conduct my tournament. The tournament is scheduled to take place after the effective date of these guidelines. Keep in mind that the guideline dates go into effect November 15th. November 15th of this year is when these guidelines go into effect. Do I need to make a separate application to obtain permission? For information on whether or not a separate application is required, please see below. Tournaments announced before the release date of the guidelines will be conducted before the end of year, or that will be conducted before the end of 2023. You will not be required to make a separate application. So basically, if you announced it before these guidelines were announced, you're okay. But if you're planning on it from here on out, that's a problem. And yeah. Jesus Christ. I don't think I've ever been more surprised that Nintendo would do this. But I can also say for a fact that I'm still flabbergasted by how they've done it. This is something that I did not expect today. And So basically, Nintendo is basically saying you will not host a tournament. You will not host an event. If you want to, you're more than welcome to, but you had to basically play Wipeout and good luck. So at this point, why even bother hosting a tournament? And here's the thing, too. The pro players are getting pissed off about this. Really. Hungry Box came out with saying stuff that that the Smash community is cursed. And basically it is. All right. Now, this doesn't necessarily affect the big tournaments, the major tournaments. So I think Evo is safe, as well as some of the other ones. But the fact that they're doing this is just completely and totally asinine in that regard. And I think if I'm a member of the Smash community, whenever the new game comes out, I want to buy it. What's the point of playing a game that, had a great competitive scene? Let's play this. Whether it was Smash Melee, Smash Ultimate, Smash, whatever. The Smash scene has had a great turnout. It's the best, if not one of the best, fighting game championships games out there. All right, these guys bring in, fans from around the world. No, even players like me who will play once in a while will want to compete, have a good time, enjoy ourselves, and go from there. But you can't go about and basically say, hey, I can't host, you can't host a tournament because you have to follow all these guidelines. That's just completely and totally stupid. It's asinine, and I really hope that Nintendo reverses course. I really hope they do, because if they don't, that's going to be a bit of a problem. And I really think that Nintendo, if they want any hope of keeping this scene going, keeping this from basically imploding on itself, they need to reverse course and actually listen to the community. Because doing this does nothing but just kill your game and kill your tournament altogether, because no one will be playing this game from here on out. And I know that I know that I'm wrong in saying that nobody's going to play the game and all that stuff, but the fact that you got everyone kind of pissed off about it, it's one of the it's just one of the things of you gotta actually listen to the people. Certain esports get it right, and then certain esports get it wrong, and then get it right later on. And then there's Nintendo, who does whatever the fuck they want, apparently. So we'll see what happens with this, because this is gonna be very interesting to see how long, if it does indeed get taken down or modified down the line. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, so that was just, again, just a kind of an impromptu thing and everything. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Any updates, we will definitely follow through, and we'll definitely go from there. But yeah, this is just something. You want to host a tournament? Good luck. Nintendo basically saying good luck in that regard. So until next time, y'all stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch y'all next time.